we are a toy company. That is definitely how we, but consumers are talking about our product and our brand in digital media. And we of course want to be present where the consumers are. I would say it's a lot about changing mindset, shifting the whole tempo and the cadence of the company into fitting a more agile way of thinking, a more real-time way of thinking, and a real-time way of acting. I would say in my area it covers digital marketing. So it's basically how we connect with consumers, how we talk with consumers, how we listen to conversations that consumers have about our brands and how they perceive our brands. So it's a lot about getting into that conversation, listening, and again acting based on those trends that we see in the market and within our consumers' behavior. So my area of responsibilities are first and foremost social media. And that covers basically all of the channels: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, also the Chinese, the Russian channels. It's basically developing a strategy and executing a strategy globally, real-time, 24/7. Besides this, it's also a very important area is search marketing. So it both covers SEO and PPC. Then I'm in charge of and runs the engagement we have with kids on our own website, and also the engagement that we have with moms on social media. Besides that, we also have launched a TV channel called Lego TV that's available on iOS, Android, and Kindle devices in 24 markets. And that's basically where kids can look at our content and see our content and always access our content to get in kind of the universe around the Lego brands and the Lego storylines that are behind. And also on top of that, it's the whole YouTube environment that we run. We approximately on a good Saturday, we have around 2.8 to 3 million views on our YouTube channel. And it also is localized in 24 markets. I have a team that is based basically in different parts of the world, in different time zones, so we are sure that we can maintain a 24/7 presence on these channels. Because, for instance, on social media and also on Google, you see that people are basically, prime time is when you're off work. So we need other time zones to take over and cater for that engagement when, for instance, we're not at work in the European time zone, and the same thing in the US time zone. I think I'm very fortunate to have some colleagues in the legal department that are also digital savvy, and they understand that how digital media works. So I think it's actually a benefit if you can work with the legal department upfront before a project and find some common ground rules about how you work together before you have a project that you want to launch. So I think it's very important that you look at the different colleagues that you have, legal, etc., as co-partners in developing digital marketing, because legal is a huge barrier and also a huge enabler in digital marketing. So it can be quite technical, but we measure impact in 4 different dimensions. So we measure the impact on direct sales, we measure the impact on our increased brand affinity, we measure the impact on our marketing efficiency, and then on our ability to do damage control and risk mitigations. And behind those 4 dimensions, we have a lot of different metrics that we apply to different parts of campaigns, platforms, SEO optimization, and so on and so on. So it is, of course, difficult to create a link between what we do in direct sales It's easy when it comes to basically direct tracking to e-commerce. That's totally doable, and we do that all the time. But it's of course more difficult if you want to connect it to retail sales. And again, one of the big challenges I think for everyone is basically the attribution model. How do we find the perfect attribution model in digital marketing? The whole market is converging in digital marketing. So I think, for instance, e-commerce, search optimization, social media, mobile is really converging at the moment. And I think that you don't need to be good at all of the channels. You need to basically think about it as an integrated experience for the consumers and also across the consumer lifetime. So it's not just about being good in e-commerce and being good at social media. You need to be good at digital marketing and digital communication and experiences with the consumers. If I could learn one skill overnight, it would be Chinese. I think it's interesting to see the convergence of e-commerce and social media, for instance, on WeChat, Sina Weibo, all of the other Chinese networks that are up there. And it's interesting to see how many of them that are constantly popping up, and then how quickly some of them are dying out. So I think it's really a boiling pot over there where you can definitely see some new stuff coming into, also influencing, in a very short time, I think influencing both Europe and the US. What I've learned from the Chinese platforms that I haven't learned from, for instance, working with only the Facebooks and the Instagrams and so on, I would say that it's always possible to find new ways of putting together different parts of the digital universe. It's always volatile, it's always fluent, there's always new things coming up that we need to be aware of, and we should never think that the world has settled and has been consolidated. It's ready for the next disruption, and it could happen anytime, so we need to keep our eyes open. Okay, the first wish would be that I at least had 8 more hours per day, just basically to make sure that we can manage everything properly. I would also wish that there would be more multilinguals in the world, so we could have more people speaking at least 12 or 14 languages. And lastly, I would hope that the perfect attribution model would be invented quite soon, so we could measure the value of everything we do in digital marketing.